Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video, and happy Star Wars Day, everybody! It's May the 4th, and I wanted to touch on Star Wars. Specifically, the last 3-4 years I've been talking for May the 4th, I've been showing off all the different trips we went on. We went to various locations that Star Wars was filmed, and because of the way the world is these days, it's not like we can get out and about to those locations anymore, but you know what? We ticked a lot of the boxes off our to-do list, and I'm very, very happy. But I thought I would actually show off some souvenirs from those trips. A little bit of a sort of revisiting those previous videos, but also just wanted to show off stuff that I still have from each of those journeys, and kind of an unusual item at the end. So what do we have here? Well, I'm going to go into each individually, but we have genuine Hoth snow, we have 2 examples of genuine Tatooine sand, and we even have some leaves and some sticks from the forest moon of Endor. So let me show you each item individually. So let's start off with the genuine Tatooine sand. This is the stuff right here. And we've also got more of the stuff in this little diorama thing with a little R2-D2 there. Make them out there. And this little diorama was actually a housewarming gift that we got from my sister-in-law. I think she must have thought, oh, you'll put some nice flowers or something in there. I was like, heck no, I'm putting R2-D2 in there with some sand. Genuine sand from Tatooine, of course. Now, this sand that you're looking at is actually from Death Valley. I'm not sure if anybody is aware, but when George Lucas got back in 1976, 77, when they were filming, or when they were editing, I think they realized, you know, there's certain sequences that are missing bits. We see R2 getting into the Jawa sandcrawler, but we didn't show him getting captured or actually being hoisted toward the Jawa sandcrawlers. So let's quickly film some bits, and we can't really hop off back to Tunisia for this. So they went over to Death Valley and quickly threw together the scenes that we know so well. So if you go to Death Valley, you can actually visit where some of those sequences took place. All the bits where the Jawas are sneaking up and eventually capture R2. So when we went to Death Valley, I made sure, okay, I want to get some genuine Tatooine sand. And that's what's in here. And I'm just going to see if I can do like an aerial view right down inside there. Yeah, there you go. The sand is actually from, there's a bit where R2 and 3PO kind of part company, and you see R2 going off over the dunes, and then there are some mountains in the distance. We were there, and I took my, not this R2, but my genuine Kenner R2, and I put him in the sand in the exact same spot. And when we were heading back to the car, I just said, you know what, I want to get me some genuine Tatooine sand, so I'm going to grab a baggie full and just take it. So that's what this is. This is from California, from Death Valley. This is that sand. The rock that's behind R2. This R2 is actually out of a soap container, actually. This was the thing I got because, just for a laugh, it was a bar of soap that had R2-D2 kind of encased in the center. And as you use the soap, eventually you would get R2 pried free. So that's what this is. And he actually makes a nice little addition to this little diorama. The rock that's right behind him is actually from the very area where in the movie there's, just as R2 is about to get captured, there's some bits where rocks fall down what kind of looks like a staircase. And this was a rock from that staircase. So it's a real thing from the real location. The more reddish rock, that was part of our Arizona trip. And I just thought, you know what, those 2 rocks kind of go nicely together in there. So they break up the color, they make it look kind of interesting. Speaking of Arizona, this bag here is actually from Yuma, Arizona. When we did the Sarlacc pit trip, we actually took all of my figures out, my Kenner figures and one of the vehicles, and recreated as many scenes from that part of the film as we could in the Imperial Sand Dunes just north of Yuma, Arizona. If you get a chance to go in that area, go check it out. So while we were there, I once again said, I gotta get me a bag of sand. So this is genuine Yuma, Arizona sand. Probably, I'm not going to take it out, but I'll bet you if you took this stuff out and the stuff from California, it would be very interesting to see. They look You can't really tell on the camera here, but to my eye, they look exactly the same kind of granules, the same color, everything else. A geography expert, I'm sure, would be able to tell us whether or not Arizona sand has much in the way of difference with California sand. However, for the purpose of my collection, they are both Tatooine sand, and I'm very happy to have them. Now, also as part of a recent video I did, I actually assembled this little Jawa, little Lego Jawa, and my intention at the time of making him was, well, R2 looks a little lonely inside there. Why don't I get a little Jawa to stick inside with him? Unfortunately, it looks, I think the scale is wrong. Let's find out. Okay, a moment of truth. First of all, how is he side by side? Oh, you know what? There's a bit of glare there. He's not that far off, actually. You can't really make him out. There you go. He's a bit tall. But you know what? I think that will work. So let's just rearrange. Here we go. So you can see what I'm doing. That's not too bad. Maybe if I put him behind the rock or something. Maybe the fact that the scale is off. Whoa! Come on, buddy. Don't fall over. Maybe it won't be so bad. Ooh, I know. I'll just tilt his gun down so that he can use that to lean on. There we go. Okay, what do you think of that? Does that scale look okay? Is that about right? I mean, the Jawa's a little bit large, but you know what? He's kind of getting in the way of the light here, but he's kind of like exaggerated features, so maybe the scale works okay. I guess from the top, I'm hitting it. You can't really make it out very clearly. You know, from a distance, I think that'll work just fine. I think I'm going to leave the Jawa in there. So there we go. There is R2 and the Jawa with a genuine Tatooine rock and some genuine Tatooine sand. This next one I have to do with a little bit of a time factor, and that is some genuine Hoth snow. It's frozen in here right now. Don't know if you can make it out very clearly, but we actually went to Norway 3 years ago, and it was a really cool experience. Had a lot of fun. Went to Finse and rolled around in the snow and took my little AT-AT here with me. Did a review about him. This is the Titanium Series diecast. Really nice AT-AT. It had a lot of fun in the snow, and so did we. And I thought to myself, like many people I'm sure before me, if you're going to go all the way to Hoth, if you're going to romp around in the snow and have a blast like we did, you might as well pick up some genuine Hoth snow. So inside there, I'm sure the focus isn't very good, but can you make out just there's a little bit left there. When I scooped this into this container, I had actually, it stood fairly tall in the saddle. Obviously, during the rest of our Norwegian trip, the snow melted, formed a little bottom of the container, but because this was watertight, it remained in liquid form just fine. And I brought it home, stuck it in the freezer, and there it has stayed ever since. So this is some genuine Hoth snow with my AT-AT that I had a heck of a lot of fun collecting. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that's very hard to show off to people. There's already some condensation forming on the outside of this container. I did actually gather two lots of snow. This, I think, is the one with the turquoise lid. This is where possibly Mark Hamill filmed his sequences on the Tauntaun. I think the background, the hills behind him look conflicting. I've seen footage of Mark Hamill on the Tauntaun away from the hotel, so I don't know for sure. But some people claim that was where he filmed his sequences, so I just thought, well, since I'm right there, I'll grab some of the snow from that spot. The other one with the dark blue lid was actually definitely the Hoth location where the Tauntaun was sliced open by Han Solo and Luke was shoved inside. Unfortunately, when we got back from Norway, back to Canada, and unpacked everything, while this container was still nice and watertight and full, the one with the blue lid had actually leaked. I mean, it was a very small amount of water that got around, and I think the Hoth hat I was carrying absorbed most of it. So that Hoth that Hoth snow is all gone now, but this stuff remains, and this will be kept in very good location. I actually keep it in like a metal cup inside the freezer so that the plastic itself won't crack or anything like that. Anyway, so there is my genuine Hoth snow. And here's one that also has not lasted the test of time very well. From Endor, where we took our speeder bikes, I've got what used to be nice green fern leaves. These were from the various fern plants that we saw in and around Owen Chatham Grove, where they filmed some of the speeder bike chase. And these were green at one time, all of these. But I just thought, you know what, I'm here, I've got to grab some memento to go with all the other, since I'd already grabbed the Tatooine sand, I thought I'm going to get myself some of the Endor leaves and greenery, but it has turned brown and dried. That's got to be 5 years ago now, so the fact that any of these leaves are even something I can pick up at this stage is pretty impressive. I also grabbed a few sticks of wood, just thought, well, if I know for a fact the leaves aren't going to last, but a couple of pieces of wood from the forest floor should be quite nice. And those are also from Endor. So there we have some pickups, some souvenirs from our Star Wars vacations. We got the Tatooine sand, the Hoth snow, and the Endor greenery. I also have kind of an unusual additional item for this. And that is, on each of our trips, I was wearing the same pair of shoes, and I still have them, and they're actually Star Wars themed themselves. I'm going to try and squeeze them into the picture here. There we go. These are Adidas Star Wars shoes that are themed with the Hoth kind of go-to. Can you make it? I'll show you in a second in closer detail. But with these shoes, I was wearing them when we went to Death Valley. You can see very clearly where I got that sand from. I'm wearing them here. I actually had them not so much where I was running around in the snow on Hoth, but I did intentionally get these shoes out and walk around Finsa a few times. And ironically, I thought I'd take some pictures, and I tried sending them to the Adidas people and said, hey, I've taken your Hoth shoes to Finsa, where Hoth was filmed. Do you want to use these? I mean, I totally absolve any responsibility or claim any rights to them. If you want to use them, I say you can. I throw them out there to the public domain. Never got a reply back. Now, it's not easy to get in touch with Adidas, so I might have done it wrong. It's not like you can email them. I tried using their Twitter account, but that didn't go well. So if anybody knows somebody who works for Adidas, let them know. I've got pictures of these shoes at Finsa, at Hoth. Anyway, and I also, though I was not wearing them dressed up as Luke when I did Endor, we did wander around the trees for the northern part of California. Just checked out the huge, beautiful redwood trees, and as part of that, I actually wore these shoes there. So these shoes have actually been, oh, and also Yuma, I forgot to mention, where that sand is down there. At the end of it, although I didn't wear it as part of the outfit, I made sure, since I'm here, I might as well stick these shoes on, and I did stand in the Yuma sand and made sure that I had them. And in fact, it was a very draining day, so you can see here I'm wearing them after I relax with a nice cool drink at the end of the day. I'm going to show you these shoes a little more clearly here. So let's show these things off. Adidas Originals. Let me make that up. Yeah. Star Wars shoes. And these are the Luke ones. They also had some Han Solo, some Darth Vader, and even a Wampa. Okay, interesting. Campus Stan Smith SW4 Mid. I like the fact they come in like this action figure kind of casing, just like it's almost like a Kenner figure. You'd think, oh yeah, this is exactly the way these would come out. So let me just unconnect them there. You see, so these are the Luke Hoth ones. They've got Luke Hoth colors, and so you got the Adidas logo. You've even got Luke as the little on the tongue. Can you make that out there? Not clearly. You see his face? Yeah, there's Luke in his Hoth gear. It says Skywalker on the side. Ooh, these have been around a lot, as you can tell. They're getting kind of threadbare. But, you know, this is the design. It's got like the little diamond pattern from the Hoth hat. It's got the right colors on it. Very, very comfortable. Oh, and if I open them up here, you will actually see way down inside. Yeah, you can just about make out. It's a Star Wars tread inside there. You see the Star Wars wording? Yeah, your foot is on the word Star Wars inside there. So that's very, very cool. Love these things. They're really, really great. I've still got the original spare set of laces. And in fact, I believe they say Star Wars. Yeah, there's a little Star Wars logo right on the edge of the lace. I don't know if these have still got it. Oh, wait, yeah, they do. They still have it. There you go. Star Wars. Hang on. Get your face out of the way, Luke. You can kind of make out that says Star Wars. Yeah, okay, yeah. You can see a lot of wear and tear. These shoes have been all over the darn place, but I love them. And now that they have earned... I've retired them officially. After we got back from... I think it was Yuma was the last part of the trip. Yeah. Once we did that, I was just like, okay, these guys are going to go into storage. They're going to go back on their Kenner-style action figure holder. And I'm going to maybe, since it actually has a hole here for, you know, as if a peg, I will maybe, you know, nail them to a wall and set them up somewhere so that I can then display for other people. Here are my Star Wars shoes that have been all over the place as far as the Star Wars trilogy is concerned. We picked these up, and I didn't even know if they would fit. I think they were the last pair in the shop. And I thought, oh man, I really, really want these shoes, but what if they don't fit? And by complete fluke, they did manage to have exactly the right size. There we go. There's Luke on the tongue a bit better. You can make him out more clearly there. The Adidas Originals Luke shoes. Gotta love them. Well, there we go. There are my souvenirs from the various Star Wars trips that we did over the years, and really, really glad to have all of these mementos from those trips. Will we ever do anything again? Well, I had kind of toyed with the notion of going to TCAL, where the Rebel soldier sees the Millennium Falcon landing at Yavin. I actually have such an outfit. I have the helmet and the whole 9 yards. I could theoretically pull that off, but going to Guatemala is not exactly safe these days, so that's kind of on the back burner. And the only other one would be Tunisia, which unfortunately is not really that tourist safe these days. So maybe if that changes, if Tunisia can make it a little more enjoyable for folks to come and at least check out where Luke's home was. It has been done by intrepid travelers, but I'm not that intrepid, so I would need it to be kind of very easily hop on a bus, here's Luke's home, take some pictures, and off you go. And until that time happens, I'm not going to be going to Tunisia anytime soon, so I don't think there's anywhere else that I'll be able to visit that's part of the original trilogy. I've kind of ticked the box as far as other locations like the Death Star and Dagobah and all that stuff, because I almost got into Elstree Studios, did a video about that before. And so kind of all the other locations from the original trilogy that are not physically out there in the world, I've kind of got as close as I physically could. So that's, I think for me, a pretty good accomplishment. I'm very happy with having done where we've done and all these little mementos of those trips. What a great experience. All right, well, happy Star Wars Day, everybody, and until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.